Hi, I'm Thomas. I'm a freelance web developer, computer enthusiast kind of guy, and today I'm going to be going over my thoughts and impressions of Spectrwm. Let's pull up that lovely screen. That's my cat. Uh, so I've been using Spectrwm for like a couple weeks now. It's been a little bit. I came from BSPWM, and before that I was using i3, and before that I was using nothing. I was using Ubuntu and a VM for my web development stuff. And I gotta say, I tried window tiling managers, and I really enjoyed them. So I'm just gonna be going over what I thought is great about Spectrwm compared to like manual tilers. Uh, just try to figure this out. Apologies if I can't really articulate too well. This is the first video I'm going to be doing like this. So, as you can see from here, this is my desktop. Let's go to the overview. This is what all of it looks like. You got my big 4K monitor on the right, 1080p in the left over here. And obviously everything's being tiled right now. I'm not using floating windows. And it's great. It's wonderful. I don't use gaps, because gaps are a waste of space. I messed with gaps. I used i3 gaps, I used BSPWM with gaps, and I even used Spectrwm with gaps in the beginning, but no, gaps are bad. I don't like gaps. I can just use transparency, live that way, be happy with seeing my background like that. I don't need the gaps. So I was introduced to Spectrwm when I was learning, trying to learn hacking and stuff. I installed BlackArch after Kali Linux performed very poorly in my Virt Manager VM. And I loved it straight out of the box. I was like, wow, this is pretty great. I mean, it had some pretty crappy key bindings. Like they shipped the Spectrwm in BlackArch with just some weird out of the world key bindings where it's like Alt X to open a terminal. And that just seems weird to me. But it wasn't too bad. And it's just great. I loved it. I realized manual tilers are too much of a hassle to get everything to feel perfect, and I'm just gonna be a perfectionist and always try to get windows to like these really specific positions, and I don't need that. Waste of time for me. So, as for usability, Spectrwm's pretty great. Like when I've got my key bindings and we've got all this crap here, we got all my workspaces, and this is what is this again? This is the BlackArch VM I was talking about. Which workspace? There we go. So you can't see it, but yeah, let me go into the overview. So Spectrwm, it swaps the workspaces, which I thought was really cool. In BSPWM and i3, I didn't have that. I'm sure you can configure it to do that, but out of the box, Spectrwm does that. So like over here on my up there on my main monitor, if I hit like workspace 4, if I want to go to workspace 4, it's going to swap workspace 4 with workspace whatever what that one was. And it's pretty cool, pretty great. Key bindings for Spectrwm, really amazing. Like I said, the BlackArch ones were crazy. But when I reconfigured them, somehow I managed to completely recreate the default key bindings of Spectrwm, which I thought was pretty hilarious. So, probably part of the reason I love it, because it's just intuitive to me. Yeah. So, some key bindings I did change. Of course, I moved the mod key off of Alt onto the super key, Windows key, whatever, mod 4. Which was pretty cool. I'll pull up my config. So let's just open a terminal. I'm not sure what opening terminal was in default. It's probably mod enter. That's what I have it set as, it's mod enter. So let me just pull up my config here. And I guess I should zoom in and also switch workspaces back to the big desktop view. How do I zoom in again? I'm still learning all the key bindings for programs I'm using, because I've been like, swapping programs left and right, trying to get used to it, because I've switched from Windows, because Windows kept blue screening, to using Linux as my main driver for like maybe a month or two ago, 2 months. And I switched to Arch Linux, and Arch Linux is wonderful, love it. It's really great, much better, I think, than like, I wouldn't say better, but I prefer it. It's for me. I like the rolling release versus, not rolling release. And I love how simple it was. Like, I know everything that's on my computer. There's nothing crazy about it. I know what's there. It's not like Black Magic or Windows where you have no idea what the hell's going on. So this is my config. I'm pretty sure I just copied the default US config and just made a very minor adjustments. And it's definitely not perfect, but it's good for me. This is how I like it. There's probably a lot more options I should add here. I'll move my camera over here to make use of this screen real estate. So, you got mod 4, which was, mod 4 switching out of the alt key. Yikes. But, I don't think I changed too many things. I did change, I believe I changed the master add, master delete, and the slave add, the stack add, stack delete. So, like, for that, let me show you. If I add a bunch of, windows, I've already been in this workspace by default. It should actually look like this. No, it shouldn't, because there should not be this many stacks or whatever. Let me go over to a different one that I haven't been working in. So this is what it looks like by default. Let's shrink this camera again. Put it over here. This is what it would look like by default. And if I wanted to add another column over here, I would do mod, shift, and then comma or period to add. Oh no, period removes, comma to add. And there we go. And I could do it again, and we get this, and then remove would be period. I also changed this. It swaps layouts, so it's like a horizontal layout now. And for me, that's mod tab. So I'll do mod tab, and it cycles through. This is full screen mode. It does all that. And I also changed the flip layout to mod shift tab. So now it shifts the layout or whatever. And in horizontal mode, of course, that brings the window to the bottom, the master window. And to add a window to the master, it's mod and then just comma period. Oh, comma, mod comma, Jesus. Sorry. You can tell I'm a little frazzled. I haven't done something like this before. I'm gonna try to get into it. Use Qt browser. Not really going over Spectrwm. I'm going over some things. For the key bindings, again, let's close out all of this. I think I changed some other stuff, like mod shift JK. I think that was actually a mod shift JK. I don't know. That just swaps with the windows. That is something I miss from i3 or BSPWM, the directional inputs to like go to different windows. Instead, you just like, so you swap, go to the next one, previous. You don't go like, oh, window above, window below, window left, window right. Maybe there's a way to do that. I don't know. Just turn that into a tiled window. Yikes. There we go. What is going on? I don't want to grab that. Guess we put this here. Oh well. I haven't really done anything with regions because Spectrwm automatically configures the regions by each screen, but if you have like a really big monitor or 4K monitor and things are just going crazy, you have it in like a vertical position like I do, you could configure it so it's like two 4x3 monitors on top of each other. Not sure if that would be the right aspect ratio, but you could do 4-3, 4-3, and then get the master slave and then have like that above. It would be pretty nice. I thought of doing that, but I like having if I have to work in VS Code, I'll open VS Code and just have it full screen. Anything else? I do use the hotkey mod shift left and right, which let me go to the alt view again, which just switches regions. So then, like, if you look, you can see the border changing. That just switches regions. Mod shift left, right. So I can go back, hop left. I'm sure there's ones that can, yeah, region 1 here, mod plus keypad enter. I'm not going to use any keypad stuff, so but I'm sure some people will. I mean, it's not so bad. I might try learning that, but I only have 2 regions, so left and right work for me. What else is there? I didn't really do anything else. Those are just some basic key bindings that I just enjoy. Find intuitive, easy to use. Oh, I did do like this. If I have a bunch of windows, I made it so mod G swaps the master window with that slave, the one that's selected. Also, I believe it's a default key binding, but mod A makes you go back to the previous workspace, so you don't have to do like mod 1 to go to workspace 1. I can go to just press mod A and it'll go back to whatever workspace I was on. So like if I go to workspace, I don't know, 4. My cat is doing some crazy stuff. Be right back. Hello? Alright, we're back. I don't know where I left off, but mod A, you know, just swapping the workspaces. Anything else? There's a naming workspace key binding I see here, but I never use it, because why do I need to name my workspaces? Most of the time I'll work without the bar at the top, so mod B would hide the bar. I like the bar, it's very simple. Since I live in Taiwan, you know, I've got the Taiwan locale. And I think I tried to configure it to use this Noto serif font. There's like another option that allows you to fix like it not loading certain characters, but it didn't work for me, so I just used this Noto serif, which looks like the Go Mono font that I'm running. I just like these serif fonts. They're very legible, very readable. I know a lot of people don't find them attractive, but I prefer legibility. That should be about it for the key bindings and stuff, so let's just close out of that. What else do I need to go over? For my workflow specifically, like if I'm working in a project, I'll just open up, like let's go over to something I've been working on recently. Go to my repo, super value, source, source. Okay, so I'll be like this. This will be the start of my workflow. I'll be CD'd into the directory. And I'll pull up broot, which is like a directory explorer, and I'll use this as like a file tree if you use like an IDE or something, or VS Code. Text editor, it's just like a file tree. Cat, stop. Be right back. Okay, we're back again. So broot, doing the directory stuff, doing my project. So I'll just like be scrolling through. I'll pull up, I don't know, the app file. And here it is. I'm like, okay, wow, this is great, wonderful. And I'll just resize the masters with HRL. Oh, I guess that kills it if it's too small. Well, I never knew broot would close automatically if it was too small, but apparently it does. He'll be like this. I'll be like, okay, this is great, wonderful, excellent, absolutely fabulous. And I'll just keep pulling up menus, right? Menus, well... And oh, another important key binding, mod plus M I changed, or maybe not, but I have it go back to the master. That might be a default. Makes sense. Mod M, mod master, go to the master. And if you hit M again, it just goes back to the slave that you were on. Using all this master-slave terminology is, you know, I can understand the politically correct folk that think it's bad. Because to me, I didn't think it was going to be so, like, just doesn't feel right flowing off the tongue. Anyways, so yeah, I'll just keep opening windows, right? Go to this, and then we've got all this going on, and it's beautiful, it's wonderful. Normally, it would look like, let me remove my additions, which is to format it, because this is how I like it, this is how I prefer it. So this is already all set up, because it remembers how you set up the workspace, which is pretty freaking great. Like, it's wonderful that it remembers this. I don't think it remembers it, like, it doesn't persist between sessions, like if I restart my computer, but you're running Linux. Why are you restarting your computer, buddy? I mean, of course, if you're like running Arch and you update the kernel, yeah, you should probably restart. But yeah. Anyways, so remove that with the mod. There we go. That's not removing it. That is adding it to the master. There we go. So this is what it would normally look like, which, I mean, maybe somebody wants to work like this. If I'm doing anything like with hacking, if I'm doing the CFs, I don't know what's fucking. I do not know what it's called. Let's not get demonetized, even though I make no money off of this because I have no subscribers. Anyway, so normally it would probably be something like this. There is a key binding to reset the view, but I don't mess with that because I can just hold H, hold L, just resize it. It's so quick and easy, so don't really need to remember some other unnecessary key binding. Maybe I'll remember it one day. Who knows? But this is how it would normally look. And, you know, it's a little cramped. Like, you got all this space, but this is code. And code, you know, you typically want to keep it between, like, 80, 90 characters. 70, 80, 90, who knows. So you would just mod shift and comma. This is a nice view. This isn't bad, you know? And then you do control B, and you got all this screen real estate. There's no gaps, and it's just beautiful, wonderful to work in. Do it again. Ooh, even better, man. Even better. And you can do this as well. And this works out pretty well. Like, the spacing's not bad at all. And I can, like, it just looks good. It's nice. Another cool thing about Spectrwm is that you can background windows. So, like, if I don't need this right now, I can hit command. I guess that's what they call it in Mac. Super W, the mod key, W. And it'll look like this. Now, I guess an issue of that is that, it freaks out. Because if you move the master to the background, this doesn't... This is treated as a new master, but it's not actually the master. Probably don't do that. Because I'm doing Command M right now, and it's not working, so... That could... I mean, I just stumbled across this now, because I never background that, but, crazy, right? We found an issue. Anyways, to bring back the window, Command Shift W, Super Shift W, Windows key Shift W, and at the top you see in D menu. Looks like D menu, but probably not D menu. Maybe it is D menu. And you just bring it back, and voila, he's alive again. And I use that a lot for things like if I have Spotify open, I'll want to keep that on my main tab. I don't think I have it open right now. Oh, I do have it. So if you look at the bar here, this is an option I enabled in the config that shows how many windows are in the background. So if I do this, I can bring up my Spotify. Voila, there's Spotify. And just to show, like if I hit Command W, it shows this again, and if I bring it back up, bring it out, and then close it with Command X. I'm just going to keep calling it command from now on because it's just flowing off the tongue. And that closes it. That's how you close a window. Other features that are great. What did I just do? I'm still getting used to the swapping workspaces. It messes with my head half the time, but I think it's incredibly useful because sometimes I do want to move my main stuff over here and that stuff over there. Anyways, what was I about to tell you? You can quickly refresh with the new config and everything by just hitting mod Q, Command Q. That refreshes everything. It does reload all the workspaces. Like it'll bring this the second workspace. Let me see. It'll bring the second workspace back to second monitor, first workspace back to the first monitor, which is a little bit annoying. And it'll also reset your views, it seems like. So if I go to this, yeah, this is now reset. So bear caution. Anyways, so there's that. It's all wonderful, all great. They do offer an option for auto run in the config. I tried that out. It worked okay. Not really though. Like if you have multiple terminals, at least for my terminal, which I'm using is Alacrity, because I just like to hop on the hype train. But For Alacrity, I don't know why. I tried to spawn one terminal instance on the on workspace 1 and the other on workspace 2. Did not work. They both spawned on workspace 1. So I just don't mess with the auto run because why? Why do you want to auto run programs from the window manager config file when you got like auto start or X profile or X start X init? It seems weird to me. But that's just me. That's just my feeble-minded opinion. Remember, I've only been into really deep diving Linux for the last few, like, 2 months, maybe a little bit more. Before I, of course, had experience, I've been working, like, doing Linux testing things, like, I'd say 7, 8, 9 years. Long fucking time. Oh, okay, we're demonetized. Who cares? Long time. A long time. When I was, like, really young, I just installed OpenSUSE on a laptop I had. And I tried to use that, had no idea what I was doing. I installed every NVIDIA driver, and then the computer wouldn't work anymore. So, of course, I'm like a little child. I don't know what I'm doing. I had no idea that I needed to like uninstall or fix or, you know, Control Alt F2 to go hop into a terminal. And that just screwed me. But ever since then I keep trickling into Linux. That was like what? That would be like the first 2 years I was doing the OpenSUSE things. Then I tried Mint, Linux Mint, which I thought was okay. I liked it. It was clean, slick, good looking at the time. Moved on to not using Linux for a while. And then when I started freelancing, I used Ubuntu, which is Ubuntu within the XFCE desktop, which, you know, I thought was apparently supposed to be the fastest. I'm like, oh, I really care about it being lightweight. But then I looked at some performance benchmarks and stuff. And unfortunately, you know, Ubuntu Mate is fast as fast. It's fast. It's really fast. Ubuntu Mate is written and optimized incredibly well. But I didn't want to use Ubuntu anymore. Why? Because I'm a trendy boy, and I wanted to use Arch. So then I switched to Arch, loved it, everything was easy, everything made sense, I knew what programs were installed, I knew how to finally, like, you know, do partitions and stuff. I learned a lot. And now I feel like I know pretty much everything about, not everything, but everything I need to know. Like, I know how to manage systemd, I know how to manage, you know, all the systemctl, and which is part of systemd, of course, and all of that stuff really came together. And now I feel very comfortable in Linux, where before I was just doing simple bash scripts and simple just development stuff. Like, I probably could have just done it all in a Docker container. I wasn't doing anything crazy. But now, of course, Linux is my life. And I love it so much. And I love Spectrwm. Is there anything else? Yes, there is. There was an issue I ran into. So when I'm using Virt Manager, okay. Swap that. Maybe I do need to name my workspaces or keep them on certain screens so I don't like end up swapping through them all. Anyways, so here you see this workspace, which was maybe it's an issue with Arch inside Arch or Spectrwm on top of Spectrwm. Or just maybe only just with Spectrwm. But when you tile a window, you hit Command T and it's tiled. Command right click. But here you see I'm hitting Command and right click to try to resize this. It is not working. Because for some reason that gets intercepted. Like, I'm pretty sure Spectrwm is trying to move this full screen window for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on. Because, like, if I do turn this, if I turn this into a tiled window, I gotta leave full screen. Turn this into a tiled window. And, let's hide this for now. There we go. And I try to move, this. It moves this window instead. Which, I guess that makes sense. But it does not, it's horrible if I'm working in a VM, because why, I don't need that intercepted, especially in full screen mode. It should not be, see, if I do this, and I hit Command F for full screen, and now it intercepts it, takes it, steals it from me. Steals it, takes it. Turns it into a tiled window automatically. Which, you know, maybe there's a setting, maybe there's a way to fix that, but it's really annoying. So, actually, in the Spectrwm config that I'm running here on Black Arch, I had to change it to Alt right-click and Alt left-click. They have to be different. And, you know, this is tragic for me, because I set up symlinks to my Spectre config, and moved the Spectre config into a cloud storage, Yandex disk. And now I can't share the config. I have to manage two separate configs and do the diff and then all this. It's just annoying. So I'll probably explore that option, the empty Git repositories or whatever DistroTube went over. DistroTube, love that guy. But I'll probably explore that. That'll probably fix it. I'll still have to manage two separate configs, which is really annoying, because I want to be able to reuse my key bindings perfectly. So maybe I'll hack on the Spectrwm source code, try to figure out a way to disable that behavior. But other than that, I think I've covered pretty much everything I want to cover for just how I use Spectrwm and why it's good for me, like my impressions. So aside from all of this, I guess that's it. Can go into expandability, but I haven't tried to expand Spectrwm because it's perfect for me. Does everything I want it to do except for being able to resize windows. But of course, I don't think most dynamic tiling window managers allow that. Maybe they do. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I should be using Xmonad or something. But yeah, I can't resize these slave tiles. I can only resize the master to slave ratio, which is fine for me. You know, I've made it work, and now I don't have all this overhead. I don't have to think about anything, because when I was using BSPWM, I had to think. I had to think quite a bit. If I wanted a window to be below this window or above that window, I need to go to that window, and then I need to hit the mod control and get the placeholder, and then mod Y. It was just horrible. It's too much. It's too much thinking. I just want things to, you know, automatically go. I don't want my computer to be a burden to me. I want it to assist me, right? So, this video is getting very, very long, and I'm just going to end it here. If anyone actually happened to watch through this, congratulations, you just watched through very poorly put together video. But, I hope you gained something from it. Maybe it'll make you want to use Spectrwm. Other than that, do I got any other scenes here? Not really. Not really. That's about it. So, thanks for watching, and bye-bye. Let's fade to black. Still here, but